everybody. I'm here tonight to share with you. I'm working on my second day of Inktober, and I kind of like really don't know what I'm doing at all. And it's my first time participating. I am following the Inktober prompt list from James Burke on social media. He's got a YouTube and an Instagram and a Burkemates group on Facebook and stuff. And he's come up with his own prompts this year that I'm following. And the theme that he's using is this character named Daisy. He's kind of doing a like a collaborative storybook type thing, which is like a really cool concept. And he gave us basically like the basics of her, and that we're able to work with her and interpret her however we want. So I just wanted to share, the introduction of what I'm actually doing. This was yesterday's. I wanted to film it, but like I am so uncomfortable working with ink. I wasn't really sure how it was gonna go. Some parts of this I like, some parts, ended up a little bit darker than I intended and stuff, but it was fun to work on, and I hope I can keep up every single day because I'm just hoping to get better skills at inking and drawing and stuff like that. I doodle sometimes and stuff, but I think I mentioned in another video that I don't really illustrate as often as I'd like to, and I just want to start doing it more. So this was yesterday's day one. This is my Daisy from yesterday, and the prompt was a mushroom queen gave me spots, lots and lots of beautiful dots. So that was yesterday's. The ink I was using is this India ink. I got at Blick. This is like one of the first art supplies I ever bought. A few years ago, I took a basic drawing course at a community college nearby. And so I got a whole lot of supplies that year for that class, for a drawing class. But since then, I've been doing a lot of just different things. Like sometimes I get into a phase where I'm card making or doodling or, a lot of mixed media, a lot of art journaling. So it just kind of depends. I'm glad to have it so I can like bust it out now and just like actually start using it. So today's prompt is for Daisy, our pretty Daisy. I already sketched it out because I knew that was going to like take me a while. It said, a leaf looked at me in a weird way yesterday in my garden hideaway. And so I just sketched out a little Daisy character, and these are all going to be vines, and I'm going to make some eyeballs out of some of them. So, so I'm going to be using this India ink, and I also have the platinum pen. I think it's the equivalent of the Epic pen that Jane Davenport sells. I just read a lot about it online and stuff. It's the first pen of this style that I've ever purchased. I have a couple of dip pens and stuff too. I'm probably not going to be using those today, but this is kind of cool because it's just like that. So anyways, I'm going to get started. And look, I'm already flicking ink around. I guess I was just like ready to start going. I think I picked up the one that I already got a whole bunch of paint on. So I'm going to try to avoid what I did yesterday where I started, on that first picture I showed you from the one I created yesterday, for some reason I went straight in to the face with the darkest ink. I just plopped ink down and was like, oh, this is going to be my face. Let me start at the head. And I didn't even think about it at the time until I kind of kept going and stuff that her face just ended up super dark. I had to like, I don't know, go over it with some of the white Signo pen to kind of lighten it up and stuff. I like how it turned out. It's just for a minute there I was like, nobody's going to be able to see her actual face. Like I just wasn't thinking. So right now I'm just laying down some water for the background, because it'll help once I start plopping with ink and moving, it'll help the ink move around. I'm using some mixed media paper from Michael's, one of their Artist Loft brand. No, was it Artist Loft? I don't know. I'll have to look up the paper and I'll share that. I don't think it was the Artist Loft. You know what? I actually bought one of the Artist Loft watercolor paper pads earlier this year. And I started kind of throwing a lot of like wet watercolory media at it and stuff, and it just kind of like broke down super fast. I didn't really like the paper at all. I was really disappointed by that. But then I was like, so I have this huge pad of, I think they're 9 by 12 sheets. It was pretty big paper, but, and I didn't want it to go to waste, so I actually, started using it as a, just like a mixed media background because it takes acrylic and stuff like really, really well. Like I just put gesso down and that's way too dark. See, guys, I don't really know what I'm doing here, but it's fun. Anyways, I just put a coat of gesso down and then on that cheap watercolor paper from Michaels and it takes anything. It takes acrylics. It takes, I don't know. I'm going to be sharing stuff like that at some point on this channel because that's kind of like where my heart's at, is just like mark making and mixed media backgrounds and stencils and layering a lot of different paints and mediums and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe now that I'll be playing with ink this month, you know, so much more than I ever have in my entire life. Maybe I'll find a new like favorite medium. I'm still getting used to it. I don't really know. I don't really know yet, but I'm hoping that, you know, like the whole point of this is just for practice. It's like maybe, you know, when you do things enough times, you draw enough and you just keep practicing, you're going to become good at what you're doing and become better. I mean, even with the stuff, you know, the other stuff I make, it's like I look at some of the stuff I first, like when I first started creating a few years back, and like my first journal pages and stuff, and like then I look at the stuff that I'm making now, and it's like night and day. It's like two totally different people created the stuff. So, you know, it's awesome because I never imagined myself as being this person ever. I've always, you know, I don't know, I've always had a little bit of creativity, but I never imagined becoming like so in love with creating. I mean, I don't know what it was. I think I discovered Zen tangling a few years back, and it was just so pretty and so cool. And I got super obsessed with it, and I just started doing that a lot. And I just kept practicing and stuff. And then, you know, I could probably just blame this all on Pinterest, I bet, huh? But it's probably where I stumbled on it. But then I discovered card making and paper cutting, like paper crafting with like card making. I was like making Christmas cards, and I was watching a lot of videos of people using like the Big Shot and dyes and you know, Sizzix dyes and stuff like that. And I just like, I don't know, I just ate that stuff up. And then one year, a few years ago, my dad, I asked for a Big Shot for gifts. You know, he kept hounding me about what I had wanted for Christmas or something. I think it was my birthday maybe, which is kind of near Christmas. But anyways, I got that Big Shot, and I've just been down the rabbit hole ever since. I got the Big Shot, and I started making cards like crazy. I was collecting like paper. Oh my God, scrapbook paper. I have so much of it still. And tape runners and glue and dyes. Dyes are so expensive. It's like nuts. And I went pretty nuts with it. And then somehow I discovered mixed media. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how. It's just like all of a sudden, like the universe kind of aligned, like the creative universe kind of aligned, like right in front of me. And so I was able to like see it, and I was there for it. And I've just been, it's like been life changing. You know, here's a good example of how much I love it. I love video games. I'm like a huge nerd when it comes to video games. I like games like those role playing games like Skyrim and stuff like that, The Witcher. I like other types too, but usually like, you know, Final Fantasy, stuff like that. And I'd play like, I tried to play games like all the way through. Like I practically, you know, came close to finishing Oblivion years ago. But ever since I got that Big Shot, I have not played any video games since. And it's sad. It's like I love video games too so much, but like I figured out that I I can't multitask with creating. I mean, I can like with having a TV going or a radio going or something like that, but if I'm playing video games, if I come home after work and my way to relax is to kick back and play video games, I'm not going to create at all. And I love it so much, and I feel like I don't have enough time to do it as it is. And you know what I mean? I just love it. So I still can't get rid of any of my, video game stuff though. I mean, I think about it sometimes. I'm like, I just want to play. I just want to play a video game. But now it's like these days it's just like, oh, when I'm going to go play, it's like I'm going to go play with my art. I'm going to go get out some, paint and tissue paper and all kinds of stuff and just art out. I think about it when I'm at work. It's like every day it's like part of my life, that's all. No, as I know it is for many of you too. So I know there's some of you out there that just like, you'll get it, right? All right, well, that is some layers. I like the first layer of ink. I don't know, I just have to kind of pay attention to what I'm doing, I guess. Like, I want her hair to be really dark, I think. I gotta think about the features and, like, the shape of the dress and stuff. I think this is gonna be pretty dark. I think that I'm gonna get, like, a smaller... I got this brush the other day because I wanted a size 6. I don't know anything about paintbrushes, you guys, I swear. I'm starting to learn more now the more I use them and stuff, but, it's a water round Grimbucker that I got at Michael's the other day because I just wanted one that was a little bit smaller. I had these larger ones. I don't know what, oh, it's a 10. I think they're probably both 10s. Oh, this is a 6. Look at the difference. It seems like it's so much bigger for some reason. That's funny. Anyways, if you're interested, that's what I'm using. So, I don't want to like overdo this part. I guess, I could probably, yeah, see, that's pretty dark. I don't want it that dark. All right, let's go over here. Because what I want is for the hair and the glasses and the freckles to be like darker than her skin. I want those things to kind of stand out because I was a little bit worried that, like, look at that big old dark mark right there. How funny. She's got a birthmark on her face, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. But anyways, I just, on my first drawing from yesterday, I was feeling like the darkness of her face was almost like blending in with the darkness of everything else in the picture, if that makes sense. So it wasn't really, it was almost like her face was kind of like hidden because everything around it was so dark, like it was part of it. I don't know, I still liked it. It was just not exactly what I was going for. But hey, if I'm drawing this girl for 30 days, then I'm sure I'm going to get it down. I'm going to get down the style that I like best for her or whatnot. And maybe some days, she'll turn out a little bit different. So here's the Epic pen. I just want to go over some of these lines with a pen. See, I like that. Like, I want this to like stand out like that. That looks really good. And I don't like to worry so much, like, is it perfectly on, are the lines, perfectly drawn and stuff. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing at all. So don't, put too much pressure on yourself about what you're doing and how it looks. I make stuff all the time that I don't like. And I try to learn from it. And that is what I've learned most about all of the creators that I've been following over, the past few years and stuff. Is like, give yourself a break. Have the confidence, in what you're doing. And if you don't like it, try again. I'm in a lot of groups, you know, on Facebook and just social media in general, like art related groups and stuff. And, you know, some people, it makes me sad when they get really frustrated, like, say, if they're having a hard time finding inspiration, or, you know, if they didn't really like, you know, how their thing came out. I don't know. I find so much joy in just doing this. Just doing, you know, just creating. I find so much happiness in it. This is almost like my safe haven, you know. I come home from work or I have a day off, and it's like, I don't know, art's just like part of every day for me now, and I just love it. It's been very therapeutic for me. I know a lot of people say that, but for me it's true. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. I'm gonna go ahead and outline the hair and probably some of the features now too. Her hair's kind of going behind her neck, her little itty bitty neck. I think I'm probably gonna end up like doing some doodles and stuff in her hair. Look, see, I'm like totally messing up, but you know what? It's gonna be awesome. I'm not even gonna worry too much about it. I mean, it's like a little 6x8 paper pad that cost me like, I don't know, a couple bucks. And I've been watching videos recently. I guess my point is like, you know, another really good piece of advice I've picked up recently is use your journals, use your stuff. Don't don't not break open a journal or a new paper pad or a product and like not use it. I think we're all, many of us are probably guilty of that, right? It's like it's too beautiful. Or I posted another video that I did. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Where I think I uploaded it today though. Where I swatched out a whole bunch of paints that I've had. Like most of those paints I've had this whole time, and I just haven't even used them at all. It's like, who does that? They're beautiful. So I don't know. Eventually, you know, you work with enough supplies, you're gonna like find your jam. You're gonna find what works best for you. You're gonna find what you like the best. I have a little bit of trouble with her cape right here. What do you call it? The scalloped capelet. I'm probably butchering that word. Sorry. Let's just do some little scallops. How cute is this? Oh my goodness, she's so cute. Okay. Give her a little waist. You know, it'll be a little bit easier too. It's like I want her to be distinct from the background. I want to make sure that we can see Miss Daisy. See, I accidentally covered up her legs. I'm like, where are her legs? They're faded into the background. She has no legs. That's all right. Okay. One of her features is that she wears big glasses. Big old eyeglasses. And so you're just going to make 2 circles like that. I just put a little nose on her. A little mouth. I don't really know. It's a little weird drawing like this. And like, I guess usually when I draw, I don't know, like kind of hunched over, like on the floor or something. Or like the couch. I don't know. So once you like really start, you know, bringing some of these features into play, you can really start to see who she is. There's a Daisy. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to do the eyes yet, and I'm not really sure about the arms either. I'm just gonna like stick them back here. Maybe by the end of the month, Daisy will have arms. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. All right, so there's those. See if we can fill in her eyes. This is cute. What was this saying again? It was something about a leaf looked at me in a weird way yesterday in the garden hideaway. How cute. Let's do her feet. Her legs. She has no legs. What I'll do is I'll just balance, you know, out. I guess she has like a gray face. She has gray legs, and so I'll make her arms gray too, but hopefully still try to, you know, make them obvious. I don't want them to get lost in the background. That's kind of cute. Scallops. I want her to be like looking at this leaf that's looking at her. I haven't decided which leaf is going to be looking at her yet, but I'll figure that out. I don't know. I don't know if my battery can handle what I'm doing. Still, at least in the frame, we're at like 20 minutes. I don't really want to do more than 30 minutes, so I might just, I'm probably just not going to go as in-depth with this, but I'm probably going to end up adding, you know, doodles and stuff. She's kind of like looking over here, so which leaf should be looking at her? Maybe that one. Is she like looking at it up here? Maybe this one. I'm gonna do this one. I was gonna do a bunch, but like I feel like this will just take me forever. I don't know how to draw eyes, guys. It's alright. How creepy is that? It's really creepy. Maybe I'll give some extra lines. I can hear my cat crying in the other room. He's so funny. He just wants in and out constantly. He loves going outside. He's like the beast of the neighborhood. It's crazy. He spent the first part of his life as an indoor cat. And I got him, and he, you know, just waited to see if he showed interest in going outside, and he just loved it. I was like afraid. I was like, what if he doesn't come back? But he comes back every single time. He goes out and plays and hunts. He brings us freaking mice and stuff. It's crazy. He comes back though. He's my little sweetheart. Alright, you guys. I think you get, oh, what did I do? Look what I did. I have a lot to learn, you guys. Well, maybe she'll be like a pirate. Oh, geez. Well, try not to do that. Especially with ink, because it's just so... So I'll make both. I'm going to try to clean up my mess here. Most things, you guys, I mean, if it gets messed up, just try to work with it, you know? I don't know what you can do. You don't know unless you go for it. And maybe it'll look weird, but maybe it'll look cool weird, you know? I don't know. Like one eye's way fatter than the other now. Let's see her. Try to make them match a little bit at least. That's pretty funny. Alright, well, there's that. I'm gonna make this like super duper duper dark. Let's see. I'm like not really staying in the lines. That's alright. That's alright, right? I'm not gonna worry too much, you guys. I'm just trying to get really like, you know, comfortable with this medium. I'm just not used to it really at all. I worked with micron ink pens like a lot when I was doing like Zentangling and stuff like that. I have a Copic multi-liner. I love that pen. It's awesome. But it's always been like fine liner pens. I haven't really worked with brush pens, or definitely have not worked with like liquid ink. So, and I also got a pack of liquid ink by, is it Winsor and Newton? And I've only just played with it just a little, like right when I got it, just to kind of test it out a little bit with a water brush. But There's a, you know, a few really pretty colors in that. Like I said, like I'm working on trying to remind myself like to stop like buying things. I need to stop buying things. You know, I'm not like in debt over art supplies or anything, but I'm also not like saving as much money as I want to be. You know what I mean? And I have everything I need. It's so hard because the people, you know, the craft providers, the craft supply people like Ranger, for instance, and, you know, Jane Davenport and some other creators that, you know, just run their business straight through Etsy or, you know, independently. There's always something new coming out. Everybody's working so hard to create, you know, cool stuff, stencils and stamps. Could you imagine if you designed your own stamps? That's so cool. I mean, why couldn't anybody just do that, right? But not anybody could just do that. I mean, the creativeness that's out there is just so inspiring and so cool. See, look at what I did. I messed up because I wanted these to be darker than like the background, the leaves, you know. And I'm not sure if that looks good. I don't think I like it. But it's too late now, so we're just gonna keep going. I was gonna like make the hair super dark too. But that ain't happening now either. That's fine. This is, you know, I'm still painting, right? I'm still creating. So I guess we're just going to see. I'm going to cover up all the lines I just spent time making with this. Oh well, that's okay. I'm learning. You know what? This is really cool because it just feels like you're working with watercolor when you use ink this way. And I like watercolor a lot. I have no idea what I'm doing with that stuff either, but I like it a lot. So this is just like a black watercolor basically that you can easily get different shades and tones with when you add water to it. Which I like. Very cool. I think my table's probably shaking. I need a new desk, you guys. I've outgrown this one. And it's kind of wobbly. And it sits a little bit higher up, and the chair for it is kind of like a bar stool height. And I've discovered that it's really messing me up when I sit in it for too long. Like my back and stuff. I'm just like, ouch. So I can work standing up though. This is working out just fine. It's a little weird. I'm not really quite used to this angle because I'm a little bit farther back from what, you know, what I'm used to. But it's also making me be a lot looser. You know what I mean? Which is fine because I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. I actually am really, really liking how this is turning out. So, whatever. I think I just need to be a little bit more... I need to get confident with this medium is all. Like, use it. I feel a little bit intimidated by it for some reason, but... So what am I going to do here? Maybe do the outline of the eye? Yes. And we'll give it like a really dark inner eye, maybe. Look at that. It's amazing how you can like transform things with ink. I love it. This is kind of a hot mess, but that's alright. We're just playing, right guys? My goal is to create every day, and as long as I'm creating every day, then, I mean, some days I can't, which is rare, but it does happen. Had some gaps over here by her. Like I want you to be able to tell the difference between her arm and the background. Does that make sense? I'm just gonna get lost in that background. It's alright. Anyways. What was I saying? Don't you love it? I love it. I totally love this. How cute. I'm gonna lighten that up. See what happens. If you have a little bit too much dark down, you just plop some. This doesn't always work. I think if it's too dry, it won't work as well. I really picked a lot of the ink. It picked up most of the ink off of there. It was darker than I wanted it, and that's great. Alright, let's just see if I can like kind of close in the rest of the gaps and stuff. but I don't want too much ink, you know, going on. So that's cool. Oh, that's really cool. Now just imagine if I like was incorporating color into this. I can make the eye like some super like bright color, and it would just like, it would be like jumping out at us. Alright, I think I'm going to do a couple of doodles and stuff, and I'm afraid that this video is going to start being a little bit too long. So, see if I can finish it up. You know, you could always skip ahead too, to see the finished project, or the, you know what I mean. I'm really super new at this, you guys. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, and I'm going to get better with time. You know, this is my Copic multi-liner. It's the 8, it's the 0.8 black, permanent water. It says permanent ink, water, and Copic proof. I don't know if it's Copic or Copic, but anyways, so we're going to give her some details. Yeah, I'm being pretty messy, huh? Look how smooth this freaking pen is. I love it. Oh my god, it's so cool. It's so easy. It goes just right over that other ink, like no problem. It's cool. See, this is like one of those supplies I was trying to hoard because it's like, it's so nice. You know? It's such a nice pen. Don't think about using it. That would be weird. Alright, you guys, I'm being mostly like really sketchy doodly with this, which I like. I'm really trying to force myself to be quite a bit looser than I normally am. It's funny because I'm such an uptight person, so it's like this is how I practice like being less uptight. Does that sound awful? I'm a stressed out person, an anxiety, you know, anxiety having person, so I don't, when I'm doing stuff like this, it really like makes me just not feel, you know, it kind of like lets me let go of the anxiety and, you know, the stuff, you know, like the stress of just everyday life and stuff. I'm making a hot mess out of her. I'm just gonna give her some waves in her hair. Huh. I can't believe how many daisies are out there. If you search, I think it's, what's the hashtag for it? It's like Inktober 2K18 daisy, maybe. I don't know. I'll link it. What's going on here with her hair? I have no idea. I should have used a thinner fine liner for this, but that's alright. I like working in this black and white. That's awesome, actually. The more I'm experiencing it, the more I'm liking it. What I'll probably do is now also add some you know, white ink to really make that contrast like stand out and be more obvious. Or some splatters or something, you know. Give her some dots on her dress. Whatever you want to do. It's really however much time you want to spend with it, because you can just keep adding details. You can keep adding doodles. Give her like a whole fashion line. I wish I was better at drawing clothes and stuff, because that's cute. You can like put her like in a new outfit every day. Some people are excellent at stuff like that, but me not so much. I guess we'll see. Maybe I'll get better. I think I'm going to leave her pretty much like that as far as that goes. See how her arms and her legs are lost though? It's like, where are they? I don't know. So sometimes, you know, it's just sort of like, I don't know if this was the pen. Maybe that's not working that well. Oh, here's another one. I know I keep picking up one that's like almost out. Yeah. When you know something's out, just throw it away so you stop grabbing it, right? It's terrible. I do it all the time. I picked it up at least 4 times yesterday. I don't know how it ended up back in my bag. It's another habit to break. Well, these, I don't know, guys. This doesn't really look good. Those arms don't look good, but like whatever. I'm gonna give her. Can I? Sorry, I'm not trying to get all up in the picture, but give her some like. This isn't working. See what I mean? You got to learn about, give yourself time to learn and figure out like what works, how it works together. Test stuff out, swatch stuff. There you go. Maybe you just need to get the pen rolling better. I know sometimes if that ink isn't dry, and you try to put more ink on top of it, it's going to do that. It's okay. This looks crazy. Okay. Well, anyways, you get the gist. This was a leaf looked at me in a weird way yesterday in my garden hideaway. So I'm probably do some more line work, and I'll have it up on my Instagram tomorrow or the next day. Hope you liked it. Let me know what you think. Bye.